In the next subunit, we will discuss about the types of instructional aids. Projected and non-projected aids like projector, radio, tape recorder, television, films, computer, whiteboard, smartboard, e-flashcards, educational toys. Instructional aids. The word instructional aid refers to any material or device used to assist the instructor in preparation of the lessons, presentation of the lessons, facilitates the trainees' learning. The importance of instructional aid. Instructional aids assist to reinforce and supplement the instructor's communication during the presentation of the lesson. This is done by clarifying the concept or data, making the communication channel more explicit, helping the learner to develop a good conceptual understanding of the content or skill taught. For example, an idea which would be difficult can easily be simplified when an instructional aid is used to present it. Therefore, learners are able to relate an idea to their common reality or environment with the use of aids. The types of instructional aids. There are many types of instructional aids. Each instructional aid, however, may have inherent advantages and disadvantages. Specially, type of instructional aids are determined by the instructor or teacher. The instructor's ability either to create or use aids or select from the readily made and suitably available aids is crucial. This squarely depends on the instructor's powers, ability or experience. Objective of the lesson. By virtue of the objectives of a lesson, the use of certain instructional aids may be more desirable or otherwise. For example, if a lesson involves the demonstration of a particular skill, then the use of demonstrational aid becomes inevitable. Nature of the subject matter. The subject matter or content to be taught will underline the type of aids to be used. For example, if the material is considered comparatively difficult or abstract, then the instructional aids have to be carefully selected and used. Generally, instructional aids can be grouped into 4 main categories. Visual aids. These appeal to sight. They include the blackboard, posters, charts, display, models, pictures, etc. Auditory aids. These type of instructional aids appeal to learners' sense of hearing. They include radio and many other types of audio recordings. Audiovisual aids. Audiovisual aids appeal to both hearing and seeing. They include some motion pictures, slides on sounds and television. Stimulation devices. These are the actual representation of the real objects or processes by reducing in size. They include devices built to stimulate the action or function of the real device. Their purpose is to develop the feel of the actual functioning of the real objects. Characteristics of a good instructional aid. The instructional aids are essential to effective instructions. The instructor should know how to prepare and use instructional aid and should recognize their value in fostering good instruction. The greatest value of the instructional aids lies in their appeal to trainees' senses and perception, their ability to attract and hold trainees' attention and interest, the ability in developing understanding of the materials to be learned, helps the trainees to learn faster and save instructional time, helps trainees to understand the relationships between different concepts or ideas. A good instructional aid should promote certain desirable results. It should stimulate interest, command attention, be easily understood, and promote a positive reaction on the part of the trainee. An instructional aid should be complete, have some explanations in the form of a label, and finally be as simple as possible. Objectives of instructional aid: to enhance teacher skills which help to make teaching learning process effective, make learners active in the classroom, communicate them according to their capabilities, develop lesson plan and build interest, to make students good observer, develop easy and understandable learning materials, follow child-concerned learning process, involve intimation in objectives, to create interest in different groups, to make teaching process more effective. The different advantages of instructional aids. It helps to make learning process more effective and conceptual. It helps to grab the attention of students. It builds interest and motivation teaching student learning process. It enhances the energy level of the teaching and students. It is even better for overburdened classrooms. It provides students a realistic approach and experience. Limitations in instructional aids. technical problems, students' distraction, expensive, time-consuming, needs space, convenience. Audiovisual aids. Audiovisual materials must be seen in their relationship to teaching as a whole and to the learning process as a whole. Until the teacher understands the relationship between audiovisual materials and teaching learning process. Audiovisual materials are produced, distributed and used as planned components of educational program. It helps the process of learning, that is motivation, classification and simulation. Audiovisual aids are multisensory materials which motivate and stimulate the individual. It makes dynamic learning experiences more concrete, realistic and clarity. It provides significant gain in thinking and reasoning. Audiovisual aids are sensitive tools used in teaching as avenues for learning. These are planned educational materials that appeal to the senses of the people and quicken learning facilities for clear understanding. The definition of audiovisual aids, according to Kinder S. James, audiovisual aids are any devices which can be used to make the learning experience more concrete, more realistic and more dynamic. According to K.P. Neeraja, an audiovisual aid is an instructional device in which the message can be heard as well as seen. The different purposes of audiovisual aids are to supplement and enrich teachers' own teaching and make teaching learning more concrete, to serve an instructional role in itself, to create interest among the group, to make teaching as an effective process. Advantages of audiovisual aids. Audiovisual aids help in effective perceptual and conceptual learning. Audiovisual aids helpful in capturing and sustaining attention of students. Audiovisual aids arouse interest and motivation students to learn. Audiovisual aids is helpful in new learning. Audiovisual aids helps in saving energy and time both the teacher and students. Audiovisual aids provides near realistic experiences. Audiovisual aids can meet individual demands. Audiovisual aids useful for education of masses. Classification of audiovisual aids. Various classifications are given for audiovisual aids according to the type of projection by various authors. First, classification of audiovisual aids and then audio aids. Audio materials are those which can be heard. Example, radio, tape recorder, Walkman, headphones. Visual aids. These are helpful to visualize the things. Example, graphic aids, 3D aids, display board and print materials. Audiovisual aids. These aids can be heard and seen simultaneously. Projected aids, TVs, films. Classification of audiovisual aids. Simple audiovisual aids, sophisticated audiovisual aids. Simple audiovisual aids includes graphic aids, display boards, 3D aids, print materials, etc. Sophisticated audiovisual aids includes different audiovisual materials. Principles to be followed for effective use of audiovisual aids. Audiovisual materials should function as an integral part of the educational program. Audiovisual aids should be centralized under specialized direction and leadership in educational programs. An advisory committee consisting of representatives from all areas of curriculum should be appointed to assist in selection and coordination of audiovisual materials. An education program should be flexible. Audiovisual materials should be carefully located to eliminate duplication, easy accessibility and convenient use. Audiovisual aids should be available wherever and whenever they are needed for effective utilization and an integral part of curriculum. Periodic evaluation to be done to assess the function of utilization and expenditure of the program. The different types of projected aids. First is overhead projector. The overhead projector is the most used in all audiovisual aids. It projects transparencies with brilliant screen images suitable for use in a lighted room. The teacher can write or draw diagrams on the transparency while he teaches. These are projected simultaneously on the screen by the overhead projector. Overhead transparencies. Transparencies are popular instructional medium. They are simple to prepare and easy to operate with the overhead projector, which is lightweight. The projector is used for near to the front of the room with the teacher standing or sitting beside facing the students. Guideline for making effective transparencies. Have one main idea in each transparency. Include one related figures and diagrams. Use simple lettering style in writing. Use diagram in proposition to its lettering. Keep the message clear and simple. Emphasize the key messages. Use color and lettering with discretion. Advantages: permits face-to-face interaction with the students, can be used in daylight conditions, can present information in systematic developmental sequence, requires limited planning and can be prepared in variety of inexpensive methods easily available. The opaque projector. Opaque projector is the only projector on which we can project a variety of materials, example books, pages, objects, coins, postcards or any other similar flat materials that is non-transparent. The opaque projector will project and simultaneously enlarge directly from the originals. Printed matter. All kinds of written or pictorial matter in any sequence derived by the teacher. It requires a dark room as projector is large and not really movables. Slide projector. A slide is a small piece of transparent material on which a single pictorial image or scene or graphic image has been photographed or reproduced otherwise. Slides are a form of projected media that are easy to prepare. They are still pictures on positive films which can be processed and mounted individually yourself or sent to a film laboratory. The standardized size of slide is 2 inch into 2 inch. Any 35 mm camera will make satisfactory slides. Film strips. Film strips are sequence of transparent still pictures with individual frames. A tape recorder or narration can be synchronized with film strips. Each strip contains from 12 to 18 or more pictures. It is a fixed sequence of related stills on a roll of 35 mm film or 8 mm film. Radio. Radio is a device with which the whole mass can be contacted at a time, efficiently and economically. Nowadays, with the increase in rural electrification, the number of radio sets in India is increasing greatly. Moreover, people are purchasing battery sets and they have realized that it is a good thing to have one in their house. Radio sets have been provided in a common meeting place by the CD organizations. Radio is a good source of communication of ideas. It gives news bulletins, special programs from rural people, housewives and children. It is a good source of disseminating information for health workers, farmers, etc. In case of audio aids, the message has to be simple so that the people can understand and act. Tape recorders. Tape recorders have been very common nowadays and their use in education is gradually increasing. Tape recordings, especially cassette tape recordings, may be prepared for group or individual learning. Advantages of tape recorders: pre-rehearsing is possible, information can be stored and used repeatedly, no problem of time, communicator can present programs made by him, it can facilitate editing also, that is shortening, eliminating or adding of materials from different sources. Television. Michael J. Apter says, television is the most powerful media of mass communication which has ever existed and it has revolutionized our lives in many ways. Television is already being used to spread health and nutrition messages. Television shows the actual picture, figure or diagram along with the hearing sounds. So it has an advantage over radio where the audience is only listening. The movements of the pictures hold the attention of the audience. Most of the homes in cities have a TV set. Nowadays, with increase in electrification, they are available in villages also. Evaluating the TV program, Edgar Dell suggests a simple method for evaluating education television programs by the following questions. Whether the purpose of presentation made clear to both audience and teacher, did the audience have something to watch for? Was the audience prepared for the telecast by reading etc.? Did the audience understand the material? Did the receiver or the audience find the presentation interesting? Was the program well organized? Was the opportunity given to become involved or to participate? Were the key points emphasized by meaning of repetition and review? Did the telecast add certain experiences not easily available in the usual classroom situations or day-to-day life? Now let us discuss the different non-projected aids. The first one is Chalkboard. A chalkboard or blackboard is a reusable writing surface on which text or drawings are made with chalk or other erasable markers. Blackboards were originally made of smooth, thin sheets of black or dark grey slate stone. Modern versions are often green or brown and are thus sometimes called a green board or a brown board instead. A blackboard can simply be a piece of board painted with a matte dark paint, usually black or dark green. A more modern variation consists of a coiled sheet of plastic drawn across two parallel rollers, which can be scrolled to create additional writing space while saving what has been written. The highest grade chalkboards are made of rougher version porcelain, enameled steel. Porcelain is very hard wearing and chalkboards made of porcelain usually last for 10 to 20 years in intensive use. Blackboards have few disadvantages. They produce a fair amount of dust depending on the quality of chalk used. Some people find this uncomfortable or may be allergic to it. There has been speculations about links between chalk dust and respiratory problems. The dust also precludes the use of chalk in areas shared with dust sensitivity equipment such as computers. However, the alternative method of displaying information have drawbacks of their own. The scratching of fingernails on the blackboard is a sound that is well known for being extremely irritating. Blackboards are also used in many establishments, typically public houses, as a form of advertising, often for upcoming events and menus, as well as to keep the scores in charts messages. Flannel board, sometimes called flannel graph. This teaching tool is called by different names: visual board, frick boards, slab boards, felt board, videographs. Flannel graph is a storytelling system that uses a board covered with a flannel fabric, usually resting on an easel. It is very similar to fuzzy felt, although its primary use is as a storytelling medium rather than a toy. Bulletin board. It is a soft board which will hold pins or tags almost suitable. Simple devices placed either indoor or outdoor. Items generally displayed are photographs, publications, posters, newspapers, circulars, notices, etc. Advantages of bulletin board: explains important events, reports special activities. Disadvantages: not effective for illiterate group, takes lots of pre-planning and preparation. Pegboard: it is a type of board which contains small holes to fix certain letters into the holes, which is used especially in offices to display certain items, names of the persons or faculty members. Magnetic board: it is a framed iron sheet carrying porcelain coating in some dark color, generally black or green. It can be used to display pictures, cutouts and light objects with disc magnets and magnet holders. Smart boards. Smart boards, put simply, are a sophisticated replacement of a traditional overhead projector. Over the years, this cutting-edge technology has proved popular for students of all ages. The interactive board turns a typical classroom into a fun learning environment. It enriches classroom in several ways by providing hands-on collaboration and creating the perfect learning setting. Computer as a tool in modern teaching. Computers have become the most important learning aids of the modern times. Today's education is considered incomplete without computers. This is the basic machine on which all other electronic medias of learning depend. These can be brought in various forms like desktops, laptops, notebooks, and simple e-readers. Computer are used to play the computer-based educational games, which can now be played also through television screens. The computer has been playing an important tool for teaching for the last few years of the 20th century, and since then it has brought about a revolution in the methods of teaching which our future teachers will be using. Interactive electronic whiteboard as a tool in modern teaching. Interactive electronic whiteboard of today, also known as smart boards, are the latest tool in the method of modern teaching. These need a computer, an overhead projector, and a preloaded educational software. These are very costly equipment and require a lot of investment and can be afforded by only schools who charge a very high rate of fees from the students. For this reason, there these have not become very popular with ordinary schools. It is not only heavy initial investment if purchased outright, which has to be kept in mind, but also the day-to-day cost of running the equipment, which should be thought of by the end users. The costs are the high power bills and the replacement of lamps of the projectors, which should be given attention to it while buying these costly equipments. Flashcards. Flashcards are the set of paper cards of varying sizes that are flashed one by one in logical sequences. Flashcards can be self-made or commercially prepared and made up of charts or drawing papers, paper using color or ink or them of drawings. Purpose: to teach a student, to give health education, useful for small groups, used in group discussion. The different advantages of flashcards. Flashcards can be used to introduce and present topics. It can be used to apply information already gained by the students to new situations. It can be used to review a topic, can be used for drill and practice in elementary classes, to develop the cognitive abilities of recognition and recall of students. It can work as a supplementary aid and can be effectively used with other materials. The different disadvantages: cannot be used for a large group, prone to get spoiled soon, preparation is time consuming. An extensive selection of images listed according to theme that helps learners to understand basic vocabulary is e-flashcards. These images may be printed out or used with an interactive digital whiteboard. The audio option also tells students how each word is pronounced. Educational toys. Toys are used in small classes for teaching the children the names of various fruits, vegetables, animals, birds, insects, etc. Toy models of these objects are easily available in the market. Children in lower classes are also given some objects like marbles and beads to learn numbers. Toy clocks and watches are used in schools to teach children the different concept of time. So, in this unit, we have gone through the different projected and non-projected aids which can be used for educational purpose.